Okay, so welcome everyone. We are going to be spending the next few hours talking about an overview of using auditing as a compliance tool. Auditing is a very interesting, we'll talk about the difference between monitoring and auditing, but auditing is a very interesting approach to how we look for compliance in clinical research. And we're going to discuss how it's different from monitoring and how we can use it both prospectively as well as in process to get a sense of what is happening at our auditee, at that organization, whether it's a site, a lab, a sponsor, a CRO, or an IRB. So we're going to talk about how quality assurance differs from quality control and who is responsible for each, who gets audited and why. We'll look at the guidelines on how the FDA trains its investigators or inspectors to audit clinical investigators, sponsors, IRBs. And we're going to look at some recent non-compliance trends that the FDA has when they go out and do those inspections. What did they find? What are the top findings for those Form FDA 483s? So first of all, we have to think about what is an audit. And this is ICH's definition of an audit. It is a systematic and independent examination of trial-related activities and documents. And you're looking to see whether you are compliant. So it's important that we understand that when we audit, we are looking at systems and that auditors are independent from the clinical operations piece. Now, if you will look at this other highlighted area of this definition, you see that an audit is listed as more of a retrospective process to make sure things were done appropriately. If we really want to use auditing as a compliance tool, we have to be willing to use it prospectively as a risk assessment tool and in process to get a sense of what is happening so that we can actually address issues rather than wait till the end and report back. Lots of folks do that. We get called in to do pre-inspection, pre-submission, end of study audits. But unless we're taking that information and using it and feeding it back into what is real time, we're just checking boxes, not using it as a compliance tool. So ICH also defines auditing and quality assurance as planned and systematic actions. So again, pulling into the systems. These actions are established to ensure that we're compliant. So the product in clinical research, regardless of what your investigational product is credible data from protected subjects. So when we are assuring quality, we're making sure that we have built quality into the systems that are generating that data. And in doing so, we have protected the individuals from whom we are collecting that data. Monitoring, ICH defines as the act of overseeing the progress of a clinical trial and ensuring that it is being conducted appropriately. So monitoring is more of a real-time process. Those day-to-day operational techniques and activities for making sure our sites are compliant. But it's important to understand that even though quality assurance and quality control have to be separate and independent of one another, quality control or monitoring falls under the umbrella of quality assurance. So when we go to a site, for example, we're not just auditing that investigator. We are auditing that investigator's interaction with the sponsor, with the IRB, with the sponsor representative, and that is most likely going to be the monitor. How are they engaged? We are assuring quality across the continuum of a clinical trial so that we can ensure we're getting that credible data from protected subjects. So both quality assurance and quality control are focused on compliance and conduct, but their approaches are different. And one of the things that we see sometimes when we go out and audit, whether it's a sponsor or a CRO or even sites or IRBs, is that auditing groups or quality assurance groups are operating at a high level of quality control, not necessarily quality assurance. They are remonitoring, if you will. That's not our job. Our job is to look at things as a whole, with monitoring as part of the elements under our purview. So the focus is compliance, but the approach is going to be different.